I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the protocol. First of all, we're very glad that you all could make it in time, and we are very happy that you're all here. This is a great and historic day for Somalia, and we are very grateful for all of you who are going to make this day even greater. So all protocols observed. The geology for Somalia has been known for some time. The new seismic data, updated 2D seismic, is going to be presented here today. And I think most of you are here to listen, not to me, or not to anyone else, but rather the people who have the data and those who's going to tell you at what terms those data will be available and how to apply. So I'll briefly touch. There's always limit to what you could put up and cover. You cannot cover all 10 protocol, but I'll cover just the most important ones. So the slogan there, is the hope for Somalia. Why do we have that? Because we understand that a country of about between 12 and 15 million, sitting with what we perceive to be some of the biggest potentials, reserves in East Africa, perhaps even in the continent, that this ministry, is the hope of the nation. So this is a message that I want to put across not only to the investors, but to fellow Somalis who need to see the importance of this day and what it could do for the ordinary Somalis. There are critical deadlines. Today is red, which means we're covered today. The data will be presented for viewing by Spectrum, which is the 8th. Final questions and comments for July about the submission. So the data will be presented today. The companies will look at the data. If they like the data, they need to apply. And they apply through these criteria, and these are the deadlines, the dates that were set. So the final date for this viewing of the data, if you like, submission of the applications to apply, is on the 11th July. Now I know Spectrum is going to announce today that already the next 2 roadshows. I don't want to get ahead of Neil and the team. It's already exciting. The time is short, but that does not mean that on the 11th of July, if a potential company cannot submit with a very good justifiable reason, we might accept a late submission. But these are the final dates, critical dates for you to note. So we're expecting around August that the ministry qualifies a non-operator or an operator. As you will hear in the next presentation, there will be set some criteria for who needs to be operator and who needs not to be non-operator. And also this accommodates a wide range of investment portfolios for an operating company and a non-operating company alike. So all in all, by September 12th, we will share with the potential applicants the final version of the comments that we receive. Next, please. Yes. So October 17, that will be the final registration for consortiums. So there could be potential consortiums. Final date October 31st, November 6th. All the bid closes no one can apply more data, no one can apply more area to explore. And final date for signing any potential contract to explore again and to start, to see whether the data that you can analyze holds any potential. Effectively, the final date will be approved by the Council of Ministers, so that particular contract needs to go to the Council of Ministers. And the contract, if agreed, and if terms are okay, and if you like the data, and if you want indeed to come and invest in Somalia, the effective date will be then the 1st January 2020. This will all be circulated, all the tender protocol documents, the model PSA, the petroleum law of 2008, all is live today, and you can download these from the website of the ministry and the website of Spectrum. On the contrary to what many, especially the Somali community, assuming that this is going to be some sort of behind-the-scene deals of selling acreages and blocks and auctioning, misunderstanding the term that we normally use in the offshore industry. This is on the contrary. We are here to protect the interest of Somalia, and believe you me, the criteria that we've set is one of the toughest in Africa, and perhaps even in many, many other countries compared to ourselves. So what are these are only the few points with the qualification criteria. If you're an operator, so if you're a company that can do deep sea operations, which is a little bit more complicated than onshore, you need to prove that you have experience and drilled and operated a field minimum 500 meters depth below the surface. You must have financial resources, of course. You need to put up a substantial amount of money. You need to prove that you're capable and have the funding needed for such massive investment. You must then present this, and the government, the Federal Republic of Somalia, together with the member states, need to approve any contract. If you're a non-operator, so an investor can apply for these areas. There's nothing wrong with that, but then you need to specify in your application as a non-operator. So some of the criteria will be then, of course, the financials, but then we will need a more rigorous third-party verification of your financials. So a potential, preferably, a well-known auditing firms need to confirm. So you need to be able to share all of your information with the third party, and the information that you're going to share with us needs to be, of course, non-confidential, so that we could share also with our third party to prove. We're going to reject some applications. Some of the, and then again, all of this is online. It's a big document, but these are the key areas. If you don't comply with any of the criteria set in the law, in the PSA, in the tender protocol, the interest party creates an obstacles to try to influence the qualification process. We've said that many times that we want to be the most transparent country in Africa when it comes to oil and gas. And so everything, all the bids, everything is going to be transparent. The gentleman who's going to speak after me is going to talk about the how can I say, the parameters which can be a bid. We've designed the contract in a way that it is either take it or leave it, because we've done all the groundwork and there will be very little to negotiate. And so if any interest company tries to contact us try to get a deal, a favor, that is a rejection. Everything needs to be fair, non-discriminatory to everyone. Of course, that same thing applies if you create obstacles or if you present a false information that we later, and this is applicable even 10 years down the line. If you've given us information and then in 10 years' time we discover this information was not correct at the time, that would disqualify you and your assets will be in trouble. Companies who cannot participate, so we've already set the bar for who can participate and who cannot participate. As small letters, and this is, strategically, usually when all the lawyers, they put, a small text to make sure that people don't read the important thing, but this is very important. I urge each and every one of you, potential investor, to read it very carefully. We want to follow this through as it is, and any company that is in this category automatically will be disqualified and cannot apply. So the bottom line here is if you are not compliant with any of the laws of the Federal Republic of Somalia, that clarifies everything. And we've had cases where companies have done things that could violate that part there, so please keep in mind. There are various forms attached to the 10 protocol. These are forms to help you in advance so that you don't come. There will be questions, of course, later on which template and how it should be delivered, and whether it's a white paper on a one single envelope in industry standard. Everything is laid out here very clear. It's for you to fill and follow the dates and submit it to us. You'll either be approved or disapproved, with its annexes, of course. Yes. In conclusion, we want to be truthful to our words, because this is an industry that needs to be open and transparent. Our country is putting up substantial areas for open today, and we want to maximize the benefit for the Somali people, at the same time be reasonable on the government take. And that is what our next case is going to drill down for you, pro bono. You don't have to pay for anything. All the various scenarios. So from a $40 per barrel oil price at a cost of 20, all the way to $110 at a field size of between 2 million up to 2 billion. How would that range translate economically for you and for the state? That will be done. And in closing, I'm glad today that we've convinced a New York family, and we're sharing this with you because we understand that in this room there are people with lots of experience, offshore drilling, but might have some reservations about funding, security, this and that. In this room, we have lots of Somali security companies. We have Somali petroleum companies. We have lots of partners who are willing to handshake with you and to assist you into coming to Somalia. Somalia is a fantastic country. Somalis are fantastic people to do business with. And we've, managed to convince a New York family who has over $20 billion in their belt, with assets all over the world, to put $10 billion of available asset to Somalia, to the oil industry, for people who are willing to invest in Somalia. So you have the funding, you have the expertise. We have laid the protocols and the law, and whatever amendments that's going to be made is going to be made We're gonna put the data up there, so we have the assets. It is only time for Somalia offshore to be explored. And I'm glad to announce today that Mr. Daring Pastor, if you may please join me, who's going to announce that he has $3 billion today, right now, available for Somalia and for you who are going to invest in Somalia. And I'm very proud to have you here, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think you just told you my speech. So, $3 billion that we have earmarked for Somalia oil and gas. So if anybody's here, which are here to do business in Somalia, and you'd like to de-risk some of your projects, we'd be interested in talking with you. We have lots of experience in this area. I started doing business in Africa in 1998, and I've been in banking for just over 25 years. So we are a family office with $20 billion in assets, and we are looking $2.3 billion USD to work in Somalia. So please reach out to me.
I think that does it for my little presentation. This is an area where I have a lot of passion. I'm burning for this because now you know what this day means for Somalis. Now you know what this means for the millions of Somalis who are struggling. I want to conclude one last thing, is that you have all heard the beautiful names of millennia, ending poverty, all of these words. You all have in your profiles, all the big companies, even the smaller ones, corporate social responsibility up there. Those are in words. Today you have the potential to make a difference, not only in words, of more than 12 million struggling Somalis. Their lives will be dramatically changed within a decade for the decisions that you make here. There's no excuses. You needed funding. The money is here. You needed assets and potential to explore. We're going to lay down the potential. And I believe this is a great day for